Hello, and welcome to Intermittent Fasting for the Win. I'm your host, Mike Saunders, and I'm thrilled to be here with you. My co-host is Jalene Wygand, an experienced faster and fitness coach. So let me ask you, are you ready to take your fasting to the next level and unlock its full potential? Well, you've landed in the right spot. We'll be interviewing fellow fasters from all walks of life, shining a light on their progress, their struggles, and their victories. We'll get their tips and tricks and plenty more. We'll also be covering important topics like exercise and food choices. All of it is designed to help make you a winner with intermittent fasting. Today, the subject is maintenance. Intermittent fasting maintenance involves sustaining the practice of long-term as a lifestyle rather than just as a temporary diet or as a temporary tool to achieve weight loss. It focuses on consistency, flexibility, and keeping fasting for your body's needs and daily routine. So let's have a breakdown of some key aspects based on current knowledge and insights. One, the most important, is to choose a sustainable schedule. Some common protocols include 16-8 or 18-6 or 24 or even a 5-2 or maybe even a 4-3 with alternate day fasting. You've got to pick one that fits your lifestyle and that's easy to stick with, and then adjust it as needed. For example, if you choose to go with alternate day fasting, but then you continue to lose weight and drop down below where you want to be, then maybe you need to reconsider that and go with a time-restricted eating, such as a 16-8 or a 18-6. You need to find out the one that works for you. And remember the old adage, we are all different. We never, ever base what we're doing on what someone else is doing. And that's one of the main things to maintenance. Then the second thing is focus on nutrient-dense foods. When you started fasting, it changed your eating habits. Oh, I know that everybody says, well, you don't have to change what you eat, you just change when you eat it. And that's true to a point. But you found along the way that you would rather have foods that were worthy of your window. And during that, you found out that you enjoyed whole foods like proteins and healthy fats like avocados and nuts. You found out that you like complex carbs like whole grains and vegetables instead of sugars and donuts and things like that. And then you need to avoid overcompensating with those high sugar foods, which can negate the benefits of being in maintenance and might bring your insulin resistance back to a degree. You don't want to do that. Then the third thing is listen to your body. Maintenance means tuning into your hunger cues and energy levels. If you feel fatigued or overly hungry, you might need a shorter fasting window or more calories on your eating days. You're going to have to find that out for yourself. And we go back once again to the adage that we're all different. Now, women, they're different than men because a lot of women They have to work around their menstrual cycles or menopause, different things like that. And that all falls back to, is it working for me? And no matter whether you're in maintenance or whether you're in a weight loss regimen, you really need to drink plenty of water. Herbal teas are good. Make sure those herbal teas are drunk during your eating window, but if it's out of the eating window and you're fasting, make sure, of course, that it's clean fasting. That brings up a very important subject. Just because you're in maintenance does not mean that you can dirty up your fast. You really, really need to keep that fast clean because you want to keep your insulin resistance down. You want to keep your autophagy going. You want to keep your fat burning going. You want to keep all of the good things that give you success in motion. So don't dirty up your fast. Maintain that clean fast and stay hydrated. Now, with me, I like to put a pinch of Redmond's real salt, ancient sea salt, into my water when I drink. And it helps me to absorb that water into the cellular level and keeps me hydrated. You may choose to use some electrolytes like the LMNT or something like that. If you do, that's good because you need the sodium and the magnesium. Then finally, let's incorporate some flexibility. Along the way in maintenance, you're going to have life events like holidays, travel, different things. You might go on a cruise, and they might disrupt your fasting schedule. Listen to me really closely. It's okay if you want to pause or adjust your schedule temporarily. The goal is consistency over perfection, because none of us are going to achieve perfection. It's just not in us. We're going to mess up somewhere along the way. But the thing is to not make consistency out of messing up, but make consistency out of, well, in the morning I'll get back on track. Just the other day, we had a family event, and Vicki and I ate outside of our window. But you know what? We really, really enjoyed what we were eating, and we enjoyed the company we were with. And we both looked at each other at the end of the day and we said, in the morning, we start fresh. And that's one of the keys to being in a successful, not only weight loss program, but a maintenance program. No matter which podcast source you're listening from, be sure to subscribe so that you will know when the latest podcast becomes available. Now, back to today's podcast. Now, what are the benefits of long-term maintenance? Well, it helps you to manage your weight. It helps you with your metabolic health, like insulin sensitivity, blood sugar levels, and inflammation markers. All of those can be sustained with a consistent practice. It helps you with your mental clarity and your routine, because you will find that you will structure your routine around that eating schedule. And then a long-term practice of maintenance is going to help you with autophagy and your cellular health. It's going to clean up your body and continue to clean up your body, because listen, you don't need your body to be cleaned up just one time while you're in a weight loss mode. You need that for the rest of your life. In my book that I wrote, starting on page 59, I'm going to give you an example of maintenance in my life. On 7/10/24, July the 10th, 2024, I had knee surgery, a total knee replacement. And I wrote this: the day was here, the much anticipated day of surgery, and I was down to 300 pounds even for a total loss of 65 pounds. I had started going to the gym about a month before, working on the muscles of both legs, the surgical leg, so that it could have a good head start on recovery, and the other leg so that it would be strong and help me to get around with a walker and then a cane and then without. Surgery went well, but I assure you that knee surgery is not for the faint of heart. But I was graced with an excellent doctor and team and loaded up in the car for the ride home. After surgery, I continued to fast, but I switched from ADF, which had brought me so much weight loss, to TRE, time-restricted eating, in the general shape of 16/8. I knew by my study and research that I needed to be in the middle for a while. I was healing from total knee replacement, a major surgery. In other words, I needed the nutrition that eating 2 meals a day would provide, but I also needed the autophagy brought on by fasting. I alternated between 2 meals a day and 1 meal a day, and did my PT, and began to slowly get back into the gym after 4 weeks. One of the incredible things is that there was a hangover of sorts from the ADF, and although I was practicing TMAD, 2 meals a day, and eating more food, I still dropped a few pounds. I had lost a total of 75 pounds, and I was happy with that, even though I could and did want to lose another 40 or maybe 50 pounds. But I was in no hurry to lose additional weight. I knew what to do when the time came, but I cannot explain how I felt other than to say something like, "I'll get it done sooner or later." Now, to some, that may sound like a giving up attitude, but to me, it was more like, I know myself, and I can pick back up where I left off. Intermittent fasting was not going anywhere. It was now my lifestyle and would be for the rest of my days. So that excerpt from the book shows you how I went into a maintenance program. And I stayed in that maintenance program from July the 10th all the way to January of the next year. And I enjoyed it. Like I said, at the start of the maintenance program, I continued to lose weight because it was like a carryover from the ADF that I had been really restrictive with. But all during that period, I didn't gain weight and I didn't lose weight. And I switched between an 18/6 and a 24, mostly 1 meal a day. And let me tell you what, it worked. I didn't regain any weight, and I didn't lose any weight. And I was happy. Yeah, I needed to lose maybe 30, 40 more pounds. Yeah, it would have been nice. But I felt great. And I still feel great. That's why I'm in no hurry. And that's where you need to be with a maintenance program. Just because you have 10 more pounds to lose does not mean that you can not dial it back a little bit and go into a maintenance program? Because listen, even in a maintenance program, you can tweak it so that you'll lose a pound a week or a pound a month. It's all up to you. That is the beautiful, lovely, precious thing about intermittent fasting and being in a maintenance program. Now, the things that you have to worry about are social pressures. You communicate your fasting schedule to your friends or family, and that helps to avoid awkward situations. Plan your eating windows around social events when possible. Listen, if you've got an eating event that's planned for your family at noon, but you would normally fast until 4 o'clock in the afternoon, change your window. It's okay. That's the lovely thing about intermittent fasting and the lovely thing about maintenance. And then monotony. Monotony can lead to boredom. Experiment with some new recipes or some different fasting variations. Hey, if you gain a pound or two in a week, it's okay. Just say, well, that didn't work for me, so I will go back and do this. It's all about you. It's all about how you feel. And it's all about what you want to do with the rest of your life. I encourage you to track your progress. Don't be obsessive about it. You can still use an app, or you can use a journal like the one that I have. Combine it with exercise. Keep active, keep moving, and monitor your health markers. I check my blood pressure every day because I suffered from high blood pressure. And if it starts creeping back up, I want to know why. And I want to know it. I don't want to be surprised by it. And then look for community support. Just because you lost the weight, don't leave your Facebook groups or your social media groups. Stay with them. Because you know what? It's not so much a matter of you needing the social group. The social group needs you. They need you to encourage others. Hey, I'm in maintenance, and I've been in maintenance for 5 years now. And let me tell you, here's some tips and tricks. Final thoughts. Maintaining intermittent fasting is about integrating it into your life without feeling like a chore. Focus on balance. Listen to your body and adapt as circumstances change. If you hit roadblocks, it's just time to reassess your approach or consult a healthcare professional to make sure something else is not going on. If you have a specific intermittent fasting maintenance schedule or goal in mind, you can post it on one of the groups, and people there will talk all about it and give you advice that maybe you haven't thought of. And that's it for this short podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're ready to go into maintenance, I encourage you to go in and keep these tips in mind. And you know what? You will do absolutely wonderful. If you need more information on fasting and want to join a group of people who embrace this lifestyle, let us recommend that you go to Facebook and search for Intermittent Fasting for the Win, and also search for Clean Fasting Jolene. Either of these groups will help you along the way. We also recommend that you read Jen Stevens' books, Delay, Don't Deny, and Fast, Feast, repeat. Both of these books will give you valuable information to help you in your intermittent fasting journey.